Hey, the last video we were discussing competition in a software team, and I mentioned that I actually claimed that I think that competition is very important for a software team to be successful, to be effective, that people, software developers, engineers, DevOps, testers, you name them, architects, they have to play sort of against each other in some objective, fair rules. So they need to know how they compete to each other and who is better, who is not better, and then they need to be rewarded according to this competition, and so on and so forth. And I got a number of questions, actually many questions, but I decided to quote one of them, actually two of them. The first one came from YouTube, from Valentin. He said that I feel like this doesn't really work when it's about teamwork. Having those metrics and individual ranking may lead to members thinking more about their personal results and achievements rather than the whole team performance. And these are different things. So instead of thinking about whole performance, about team result, people will think about individual performance. And the second comment from Edu Costa on Twitter, he said that he asked that, does the competition between developers in a team stops the collaboration among them? Or are you thinking that in this scenario where the some skills from different developers is not necessary? So the question is about collaboration, so-called collaboration. I don't know exactly what people mean by that, and that's my primary concern here, but they all say about that, many people, that the teamwork is important, and if we create competition, if we make people fight against each other for the results, for their individual results, like I said, actually, I still stay on this position, then we're gonna lose this collaboration effect, group effect, team effect, and then everything will suffer and the project will fail and so on and so forth. My question to you guys is, what does it mean, collaboration in a software team? I'm a software developer myself. I write code, I work in teams, I work with programmers, I communicate with them, with many programmers in my career. What exactly is collaboration? We don't write code together. Well, I mean, some people do pair programming, but how many of these exist on the market? Maybe some in some junior teams, and professional developers, in my experience, they don't do pair programming. So we all work individually in front of the computer, and when I write code, when I type things into keyboard, then I complete some results, and then if I need collaboration, if I need other people to help me, then I open a transaction with them. For example, I need help to resolve some problem, something doesn't work for me, then I submit a ticket, and the ticket is resolved and the problem is solved and the code is fixed by somebody else. So that's my transaction. If I need help, then I write a question, maybe on Stack Overflow, maybe I write a ticket in my whatever tracking system, and then I get an answer there. Again, it's an open transaction, so we exchange information in transactions. I started, I get some result, I get this result to myself, and I continue working. So what is collaboration? Sitting together on Friday drinking beer, that's collaboration? Or sitting in a meeting and discussing how the architecture should be done. But even in this case, when you sit in the meeting and then you discuss, then again there is some leader who needs the results to be achieved. And this leader of the meeting, for example, the architect, is collecting opinions from you and collecting your thinking, and then makes the decision about something. So in this case, again, it's like a collection of transactions from one person to other people. So I don't feel that the collaboration actually is important for a software team. Actually, I think that if this collaboration exists, if this teamwork we pay attention to too much, then we actually kind of hurt the management system. We destroy the management system, because transactions, which are supposed to be explicit and clear and objective and transparent for everybody, they become hidden, and we don't really know how exactly this piece of information was delivered from one person to another, and who is responsible, who is at fault here, so who made the mistake. So that kinds of become less objective and less transparent for everybody, and in the end we'll lose the team result. So we lose the overall result. So when each of us individually fight for our personal results, we inevitably makes the system more explicit and more professionally designed. So if the management is weak and non-professional and unclear and vague, then we will not be able to achieve personal results, and we will not be able to get the metrics from the manager. The manager will not tell us who is better, who is worse. It's going to be, we're going to be staying in the dark. And in this situation, yes, we're going to call it collaboration, because most of our problems we're going to solve somehow informally, and we're not going to have tickets, we're not going to have formal documents, we will just have meetings, constantly meeting and meeting and meeting, because we will not know how each problem has to be solved according to the rules. In this case, yeah, the collaboration will exist probably, because I've never had opportunity for the last 15 years to work in such a team. So for me, it's difficult to imagine how such a team looks. But I can imagine that's a really bad team, like really unprofessional, when there is collaboration and no individual results. So that's like a really one extreme. On the other extreme, which I'm suggesting you to move to, and I'm encouraging you to think about this extreme as something good, is the position where there are individual players in the team, individual competitors who work according to very clearly defined rules. And one more question from YouTube as well to finish this. This is one from Valery. He's saying that I've seen some claims that a lot of people perform worse under the stress. Competition is obviously a stressful thing, so maybe this competition management is applicable to the teams made up of some top professionals aiming to accomplish something really outstanding, and is bad for just average team. That's true. That's exactly what I'm saying. So when the team becomes more and more professional, when the teams become more and more interested in actually achieving something, not in collaborating for fun and for some salary by the end of the month, but actually in achieving something, then each person becomes this top player. And in this case, we have less and less collaboration and more individual results. So when the team is not professional, when the management is weak, and when people are juniors, then yes, you have tons of informal collaboration and very little individual contribution to the overall result. So forget the word collaboration. I think it only hurts our thinking, our understanding of management of a software project. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned. Bye-bye.